Hi guys, in this video I want to show you my 10 top open source software apps in 2024, for which apps you don't know in this list you should definitely keep an eye on and maybe give it a shot. So I would say let's start with the first app, and this is called Thunderbird. Thunderbird is a free email client. I'm using Thunderbird all the day, and Thunderbird has no problems handling thousands and thousands of emails on your computer with multiple mail accounts. It has a great search. It has great functionality, for example, also calendar functions if you want to use them, address book synchronizing, for example. I don't know what I would do without Thunderbird because emails are still my number one communication method. So Thunderbird got big updates in the last 2 years. They have a new UI design and also now have a Thunderbird Android app. So definitely make sure to check it out if you, for example, are using an Android phone and searching for a mail client. Thunderbird on the Android smartphone is a fork of the very popular K9 Mail. Maybe this is also familiar to you. So yeah, Thunderbird number one. And yeah, other peoples are also mentioning Evolution Mail. This is a GNOME app with calendar features and so on. But honestly, I didn't get warm with it at all. But if Thunderbird is maybe too much for you, or you just want to try out another mail client, then Evolution could be also a hint for you. So I would say let's come to the second app, and this is called Nextcloud. Nextcloud is a free cloud like Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, and has a lot of features like, yeah, even Nextcloud Talk nowadays, but also online office. You can sync your calendars, your contacts. It's a very cool and I would say the major cloud alternative we have out there, which is open source. And the best one, you could host it yourself on your own hardware, or you can also try it out on some server hosters. So yeah, this is very cool. You can use Nextcloud for synchronizing your files, for sharing your files. Yeah, and just to access your files from everywhere. There's also an Android app, which is also very cool, which delivers, for example, a automatic photo upload and so on. So very cool. I'm using Nextcloud all the day and I'm sharing my files with the team. Yeah, and work together like, yeah, in any other cloud solution software. So this is highly recommended if you didn't try it out until now. But yeah, for that you need a kind of server. So I would say let's come to the next app. Some of you recommended to me, and this is called AntennaPod. It is an open podcast player. I would say the best open source podcast player out there. This is only an Android app. If you are looking for a podcast app for your Linux desktop, then have a look to a GNOME podcast. Is also very, very simple and easy to use. But if you are on your Android smartphone and, for example, Spotify Premium even plays ads when I'm listening podcasts, that's awful in my opinion. And yeah, I definitely also have to switch to AntennaPod, a great open podcast player. And yeah, you can hear almost every podcast which is out there in the internet. So very cool. Let us come to the next point. This is another recommendation many of you gave to me, and I thought, yeah, we all could be very interested in this app, and it's a bit uncommon in comparison to the other ones I present in this video. And this software is called Sweet Home 3D. Yeah, what can you do with it? It's just a bit like Sims, for example, but it is a interior design application where you can draw your house, arrange furniture, visit your results in 3D, and even you can design some gardens, for example. It's very, very easy. And if you are planning to move or you want to redesign your interior, then maybe Sweet Home 3D could be very useful. It is an app which is out there for a very long time, but yeah, just give it a try. You could even use it online, for example. Yeah, very cool. So I just opened it up, then we can plan some things. And on the bottom, you can watch your house in 3D. Yeah, very cool. Just give it a try. We all have a home, and yeah, maybe it could be very useful for the future. So let us come to another app I am using almost all the day, and this is in controlling other Linux desktops. Yeah, maybe you know TeamViewer or AnyDesk maybe, but there's also a great open source alternative out there, which is called RustDesk. Yeah, it's just like TeamViewer, AnyDesk, /top, and so on. It's very easy to handle, and you could use it everywhere. You could use it from Windows, Ubuntu, Mac, Android, iOS, and even also from the web. This is quite cool. Yeah, I didn't see this coming, but this is only a preview. Very cool. Yeah, also on any other Linux distribution out there, I'm using the app image, for example. This is very helpful. Yeah, you find many assets here under the latest release. Just have a look. And I'm using this app for my Linux support, but also when a friend or family member has a problem, then I could just tell him, hey, just go ahead, download RustDesk, start it, and then I can help you very easily and see your screen and do whatever I need to do to fix your Linux computer. This is very helpful, and if you are searching for such a tool for servers, there's another tool which is called DW Service. It's also a remote access software, which is also very suitable for servers because we have not only the desktop which could be transferred, but also we have some shells implemented where we can access it all the time. And yeah, you don't have to open any SSH ports or anything else in this matter. Yeah, we could just use, for example, DW service for this. Very helpful for servers in my workflow, I could say. So yeah, let us come to the next app, which is also a classic one, I would say, but still many of you don't know this app or didn't give this app really a shot, and this is called Draw.io. Yeah, with Draw.io you can very easily create some diagrams. Yeah, we could just add some rectangles, cylinders, arrows. We could also draw some lines, very easy. But also we could import some pictures. Of course, we can write some text also inside the objects, for example, hello world. We can format it. We also have some shapes which are pre-installed. For example, if I have a look for server, we see here many icons we could just use in our diagrams. This is very helpful, and I'm not using this for documenting some things, but also, yeah, for keeping everything in mind in a specific topic. For example, I finished my master thesis this year, and all my brainstorming data, I would say, was in such a Draw.io document because, of course, you have a unlimited canvas. Very, very cool, but you could also export it as PDF, PNG, JPEG, and many more formats. So yeah, it has everything. There's also a Linux app. You could just download it from the App Store, and yeah, you're fine. But I would say the Linux version of Draw.io has some drawbacks, because if you want to open a Draw.io file, for example, then yeah, the desktop version of Draw.io, yeah, doesn't really work with opening these files. You have to manually open these files with open from, open recent, and so on. But this is also okay. I'm using Draw.io most as the desktop app, but also it's very handy just to type in Draw.io in your browser and you have a unlimited scratchpad. There's also some other tool which some of you could know. It's called excalidraw.com. So yeah, very easy. You could open some files, but you can also very easy draw some things. You could add some rectangles. You could also add some text, hello YouTube, and so on. Very easy tool. If you like Excalibur more, then it's okay. But I would say for the more structured way, then Draw.io is the thing I would recommend. But yeah, very cool open source tools out there, which we could just use completely freely and integrate into our own IT services or IT infrastructure if we want to. So this is it to Draw.io. Let us come to another tool I'm using for online meetings, and this is called Jitsi. Jitsi is a very secure and very flexible video platform. I just have some instances on my own, but you could also use the public service, which is called meet.jit.z. But there you have to log in if you want to start a meeting. This is also okay. Yeah, it's a public service, but you could also run it on your own hardware, on your own infrastructure. It's very easy to use. You could just start a meeting with a random code. You could define a meeting code, for example, my cool meeting. And we could just start it. We could allow our microphone and camera, for example, give us a name if you want, and we could just send this link to other participants. They can open this link up in their web browser, in their smartphone. There are apps for this, and it's very easy, it's very handy, and yeah, it's just working. We have screen share elements, we have everything we need. Of course, also a chat if you want. We could raise our hands. We can clap if someone did something great. Also, we could add breakout rooms. We can secure our meeting, but also we can watch videos together and so on. The only thing I'm missing is a file share option, so you can't upload your file in here and the other participants can directly download it. At the time I'm using Nextcloud for this. This would be the really cool last feature Jitsi is missing here. So I would say let us come to the next app, and this is a classic one. Every one of you has it probably installed, and it is Libre Office. It is the office suite I can recommend to every one of you because it has such a great tool set. It is very major, and if we compare it to Microsoft Office, then we can really say, okay, LibreOffice is as good and maybe at some points even better than Microsoft Office. It has all the functionality we need. And also, for example, this year, LibreOffice Calc, the Excel alternative, added, for example, the X reference function, which was very important for some clients of us. So yeah, very cool feature. Also, they're added in this year. Yeah, I can just really recommend it. And also, some people out there I know didn't know that there was a complete free office suite just right available, and they won't need Microsoft Office, for example. So yeah, even if some friends or family members of you don't use Linux, just make sure that they know LibreOffice, because it is completely free. And in my opinion, you don't have to use Microsoft Office anymore in 2024 or 2025. Which is such a great news. But there's one point where LibreOffice isn't too strong. This is when it comes to compatibility with the Microsoft Office formats. So if you want to use DocX, Excel, or PowerPoint formats, then yeah, LibreOffice does open them, but they have different styling and the formatting is very weird. So if you're using docx files, and if you rely on docx files and want to use also docx files under Linux, for example, then there's another alternative which is not open source. Yeah, at first there's OnlyOffice, but OnlyOffice hasn't the functionality some other very major suites have. So what I can recommend is SoftMaker FreeOffice. To be fair, it is not open source, but it handles the Microsoft formats very, very well. So if you have to open a Microsoft format once and LibreOffice doesn't do it well, just have a look on SoftMaker Free Office, for example. So this is it to Office Suites. Just a great tool, and I can really say we could be very happy to have such a major software around us because it makes so many things easier, and it's such an essential tool where big companies can't have a shot on this. Yeah, of course, the industry is still working with Microsoft Office a lot. Yeah, Libre Office has kind of the same functionality. So I think more and more companies will move to Libre Office into the future, which I'm very looking forward to. So yeah, I would say let's come to the next app. And this is a small app in comparison, and this is called PDF Arranger. PDF Arranger is a very small tool where you can arrange multiple PDF files, merge them together, edit some sites, remove some sites, split some sites. You could move the white space around it. There are very cool features, yeah, which is sometimes very handy if you're working with PDF files and wanna merge or join them together. So just keep in mind that this tool is out there. You could also install PDF Arranger from your repositories. Many distributions like Debian, Ubuntu, Linux Mint are having this app now in their official repositories. So you can just install it from your software manager or via FlatHub or Flatpak. And yeah, it just works. Very cool tool. There are also some other cool tools I can recommend you if you want to, yeah, fill in some PDF documents. Just give it a shot with Chromium. Chromium is not only a web browser, it is also great in displaying PDF files. So this could be also an option. But if you want to highlight something in PDF files or annotate something, then you should have a look to Xonal++, because this tool is doing it great. You can create new PDF documents, but of course you can also fill in some documents. Also, which is very cool and a new app out there, just a bit more modern looking than Xonal++, is Arnold. Arnold is also something for handwritten notes and so on, but you can also do some PDF annotations with handwritten notes and so on. So this could be also a very cool feature. Yeah, this is it to PDF Arranger and all the PDF tools. And now let us come to my winner of 2024, the last app I want to present you today. And this app is very old, but very new at the other side. And it is called KeePassXC. It's a cross-platform password manager for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and also you could use it on Android smartphones. For this, it is called KeePassDX. A very cool tool. The one thing KeePassXC isn't doing is synchronizing passwords over multiple devices. For that, I'm using the Nextcloud. So I'm just storing my password database in the Nextcloud folder. Yeah, and Nextcloud does the syncing process. But if you don't want to use Nextcloud, then also SyncThing can be a thing. I also made a video about SyncThing in the last month, so just have a look on this if you want to sync some files between multiple devices. But I guess it isn't for smartphones, SyncThing. So yeah, Nextcloud is a bit more major in this point. And yeah, KeePass not only supports passwords, it also supports time-based authentication codes. It supports passkeys and even, for example, SSH keys, which is also very cool if you're doing some server things. So yeah, I switched almost completely from Bitwarden to KeePassXC because yeah, KeePassXC still continues development and is implementing great features also nowadays. So if you haven't had a look at it in the last years, just give it a try. You won't regret it. And yeah, this is it to this video. These were my 10 open source projects. Yeah, maybe also some more. I hope you learned something new. You got some inspiration what to use in our Linux and open source world. So if this is the case, please give a like to this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't because yeah, every week we are releasing new stuff about Linux and open source software. And now I'm interested, what's your software in 2024? Which software did you use the most? Which software had surprised you in the last year? And yeah, which software do you want to recommend to others? Just let me know, and all the other viewers into the comments. I would be very curious about this. Yeah, of course, there are also some web browsers out there. I didn't mention any web browser because I'm currently using a Chromium-based web browser. I can't really recommend, and so yeah, I didn't recommend any web browser, but of course Chromium or Firefox are also great browsers. But yeah, we had seen so many browsers in the last years, so I didn't want to include some browser in this year. And yeah, I hope you understand this. So yeah, this was it for today. Have a good Christmas time and see you in the next one on Friday, or very fresh in the next year. So have a great day and keep enjoying free and open source software. Bye.